Peace. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about different things. Shout out to DJ Eskimo. And we were talking about work stuff, business stuff. And we brainstormed together. He's a dear friend of mine. We're like-minded. And I love our conversations because we just are able to really bounce off of one another. And I was talking about this notion of self-mastery and this idea of kick your own ass so the universe doesn't have to. So life is a process of refinement. And on this journey of life, everything that we're attracting, all the situations that we're attracting, because we are loved so much, it's all meant for our ascension. It's all meant for our refinement to create the best, product of ourselves, the best version of ourselves. And so we can go through this process of life begrudgingly resisting these challenges, or we can accept it and almost be grateful for it as thank you for making me better. Thank you for making me greater, right? But if you're doing meditation and you have the insight and the foresight to know where you're weak, you can kick your own butt before the universe has to. And so when you do personal inventory, think of all the things that are not working for your advancement. It could be something simple. I want to wake up earlier. I want to eat healthier. Whatever it is that's not working for your rise, you have the opportunity to fine-tune your life before external circumstances do it for you. And that's what's so beautiful about this path of purpose. And so I would complain about these jobs because I've had some really terrible experiences in the work world, like the most horror stories imaginable. And I would complain to my siblings and I complain to my friends all the time. And I got advice one day, do you really hate it? Are you really sick of it? Because I don't think you are. Because if you really were, you wouldn't be doing it. If you were really that fed up, you would have put yourself in a different position. And it's you complaining about your boss all the time is really giving your personal power away. That this person has the power to make you miserable. And why are you signing up for that? Because there are people that literally have issues at home, they're not happy with their home life, and they come and they terrorize their employees. Making rules that are senseless. No, I'm not happy, so you can't be happy. You'll be a target if you show up work and you're just a little bit too happy. And so why put yourself in that type of situation? So I was listening to Ray Shrummer, and I was having some trouble really disciplining myself last night and doing some things that I know I needed to do. And it's tough for me because all I want to do is create. I want to write. I want to write songs, just write all the time. I want to dance all the time. I want to sing all the time, rap all the time. That's really what I love to do, create. But there are certain things that I have to do that I don't want to do. And that's with anything, right? And so that is self-discipline. That's where self-discipline comes in. Seeing the greater picture and understanding that there will be things that you don't want to do that you're going to have to do. And with a job, the acronym for job, J-O-B, is just over broke. But the fact is that a lot of people are content with being just over broke because it takes a lot of work to discipline yourself to actually start a business. So I was giving advice yesterday, and it was about an artist. I was talking to a manager here in DC. He is an artist, and he was talking about the ways to go about managing his artists. And he was saying that part of his artist's kind of, insecurity or apprehension was the fact that he doesn't want to release a lot of his music. We know that as artists, as creatives, that there are A-listers, big celebrities that do steal music. There are people that are infamous for going to different places and picking no names and stealing choreography and passing it off as their own and taking credit for it. And so that is kind of an issue with artists. And I was giving him advice that maybe you want to curtail your your artistry to be a business owner rather than looking for a label to sign you. You can get an EIN. You can become a sole proprietor. You can join ASCAP for your copywriting and your creative properties. And then if you decide later on to join a major label, they'll have to deal with you as a co-proprietor rather than, just an artist that they can kind of sign or hand crumbs. And then I put on some music. I was not focused. And I listened to Ray Shremmerd, and I was listening to My Type, and it was like, take your own advice. And I was like, And I felt like that was God speaking to me, because I give advice, but sometimes I don't take my own advice. And so one thing I'll say is, if I was ever positioned to be a thought leader, whatever that is, I would tell people to think for themselves, because there are going to be consequences for intellectual laziness. I'm confident of that. And so the advice that I got with the business thing, like, it wasn't to shame me. It's like, not everybody's meant to be a business owner, because there's going to need to be worker bees. There's always going to be worker bees. There's always going to be people who are going to be cool with being told what to do. And energetically, if your energy is resisting that so much, if it's something that strikes so much of a nerve, then maybe you aren't destined to be a worker bee. Maybe you are destined to be a proprietor, a business owner. But with that comes great responsibility of doing things that you may not want to do. And you have to be so put off by the idea of being like a corporate slave, or being told what to do, like being in a very suffocating position, even in a situation where you may even have a moral or spiritual conflict with what you're being told to do. And you may be in a position where you have to do it, right? That doesn't feel good to your soul. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's my job. Even though you're doing something that's morally horrible, well, it's my job. Like, who wants to be put in that position in life? And so if you hate that so much, you have to be willing to do things that you don't like in order to not have that situation. And that includes self-discipline. That includes self-mastery, kicking your own ass before the universe has to. Habits and algorithms. You can be so conditioned to abuse that you don't even know what it feels like to be in a different situation. Self-love is all-encompassing, and that includes your career, your profession, your occupation. If you're signing up for a job that is literally abusive to you, mentally or physically, emotionally, that is not in adherence with self-love, right? And so being able to break free of that, being able to create your own way, being able to develop a structure where you are able to actually have your own business, you have to discipline yourself to be able to not just obtain that, but maintain that. If that means waking up earlier, you got to do it. If that means doing the things that you don't want to do to be able to have the freedom that you want, you got to do it. You may not be able to go party with the friends. You may not be able to, you know what I'm saying? And so this isn't to crap on people who are worker bees or who are getting have a 9-to-5. The fact is that truly deep down, you know that the work to just punch a clock is a lot less than what it takes to be able to put the responsibility of having a business on your shoulders. And so when it comes down to it, you can complain all you want about the job, but you would rather somebody tell you what to do than you tell your own self what to do. You haven't cultivated either the self-esteem or the self-discipline or the confidence, the belief in self, to believe that you can actually generate an income and a life for yourself without somebody telling you what to do. And so I just want to ask you guys, have you studied your own algorithms? Are you in tune enough with yourself? Have you gained self-esteem and the confidence enough to believe that you are deserving of not having a situation that's abusive. Until next time, peace.